CRBradio.com. The words and opinions you are about to hear are of the hosts and do not reflect the management, sponsors, or affiliates of Cave Radio Broadcasting.
Patriot under pressure. She lived out her whole life suffering depression. She thought that she'd never make it out of the ghetto. But look at her now. Look at her now. Patriot under pressure. She lived out her whole life suffering depression. She thought that she'd never make it out of the ghetto. But look at her now. Look at her now. Don't you wish you could be like her? 'Cause she is a hero. She is our hero. Don't you wish you could be like her? 'Cause she is a hero, she is our hero. Patriot under pressure. Patriot under pressure show. Patriot under pressure.
I just love that song. Don't you guys love that song?
Patriot under pressure show.
Okay, guys, thank you for tuning in. You're tuned in to Patriot Under Pressure Show with your host, the hostess with the mostest, Artesia Bomber. We just dedicated 15 minutes of silence for our fallen soldiers. If you're just now tuning in, we started off late and we did it purposely. We wanted to give a moment of silence for our fallen soldiers, guys. Talk about holidays. We're about to have one tomorrow. People are going to be celebrating. I'm having a good time eating food, listening to music. Some people going to be drinking. Don't be drinking too much now. And don't drink and drive. But I just wanted to make sure that we did that for our fallen soldiers who fought and gave their lives for us to protect us. But you know what we do before we start the show? We pray. Heavenly Father, I ask that you protect us this Memorial Weekend, Lord Father, as you have been doing. Protect all of the sick and the shut-in, Lord Father, so that they can have someone come and visit them and help them have a good day. Lord Father, protect our children out here to make sure they don't have any shootings going on. And Lord Father, please save the lives of those who are not yet saved. Let them come to you and ask you for forgiveness as they enjoy themselves this holiday weekend. And Lord Father, our soldiers who have died in the line of duty, we ask that their peoples have a soft heart this holiday. In Jesus' holy precious name, amen. Okay, guys. Whew. I'm telling y'all, it's a big old weekend this weekend. The episode number 3, the Department of Education. We're going to talk about funding, faculty, and food service. But before we get into funding, I have a 15-minute, 15-second clip that I want to play. And so we can, kind of discover why I'm brought this topic up today. Thank you.
An executive order to begin eliminating the Federal Department of Education once and for all.
It's particularly unsettling for parents of the 7.5 million special needs students nationwide, all who rely on the federal government to provide supplemental funds and oversight of how states and local school districts use those dollars to help educate children in need.
A lot of parents are scrambling right now to figure out where they stand. They're not really sure what's going to happen from here.
It's really scary for parents.
Nobody really knows how the dust is going to settle on this.
Trump recently announcing the DOE's special needs program would be moved to the Department of Health and Human Services. raising more concern because that department fired 10,000 workers.
Employees turned away, told they no longer had jobs.
New Jersey mom Megan Beerley's daughter is dyslexic.
Dismantling the oversight that oversees these things and provides protections for our children. It's really scary to just have that ripped out from under us.
Her family spent thousands of dollars putting her daughter through testing, then transferring her to 2 different private schools specializing in children with disabilities.
When I look at kind of this journey and the cost of it all, I'm not willing to let go of this and have another family have to follow it and endure what we have.
Texas mom Jasmine Dean agrees. She has 3 children with dyslexia and says none of her kids got the full support they needed from her school district, even after she filed a complaint through the DOE's Office of Civil Rights, a division swamped with 12,000 pending investigations into civil rights violations in schools, half of which involve students with disabilities. Dean filed a complaint against her school district for discrimination.
And here we are 3 years later, 4 years later, still waiting for the results.
Okay.
Her son's education, she says, was always on the
Engineer,
line.
can you cut
He
that?
has not been served through public education.
Okay. I want to talk about the funding. Guys, as we all know, as I've always told you guys, I champion for the disabled. And I want to make sure that we can get this set for the record. Number one, I looked online and I pulled this clip up and it said 2 days ago, which we know that Trump has been in office for more than 100 days. So this is old news, but they're bringing it back up. This is how the media trick you. They bring this back up and they making a scare be around. Now, I can tell you right now that this is definitely some fake media in it. We heard President Trump, yes, he did say he wanted to do this and do that. And, you know, as a advisor from the city of Detroit, I'm going to, you know, I'm like always, I'm going to have extra talks with him because I'm dyslexic. I have an IEP student. I know about the disabled people, and I know how they have been mistreated as well, which we're going to go into that in my next part of faculty. But trust me, people, President Trump is doing what people are talking to him and telling him what needs to be done. We have funding going to these schools, and they're not doing anything for the children. They're not doing anything with the money for the kids. So when I hear people say things like, oh, he's going to chop this up and chop that up, please give this man a chance. Give him some time. He only got 4 years. Y'all gave Biden 4 whole years. The gas prices up. The eggs cost about $15. The milk, you know, of course I'm over exaggerating, but I'm just saying, look at the gas prices. They have went down. They were $4 up a year ago. Now they're about like $2.99 a little. They down. So stop with all this riffraff, because that's undesirable to lie and just continue to put the same thing up on the news every single week. Trump is on a whole nother level. We moving on. We trying to keep wars out of our country. We're trying to get along with people. So no, we're not going to keep on discussing about the funding because number one, I agreed when I initially heard that the federal funding was going to be held up from the Department of Education. Great. I clapped about it. I surely did. And you know what I'm getting sick and tired of too? The mayoral candidates, or should I say the commentators. The questions that are being asked to these mayoral candidates about education is wrong. Because number one, a mayor does not have a Department of Education under his belt. That's the governor's job to do. And if I was the governor, I'd make sure that I would have the mayors on deck and making sure that we don't have over 100 schools shut down. Because as Chief Craig did say, he's running for mayor, by the way, he said the city of Detroit citizens should be able to send their kids off to school in the city of Detroit. And they're not being sent off in Detroit. They're being shipped off to other counties. You got to get up. You got to drag them to a bus that takes them out there, and then they're gone. Bye-bye. I think we talked about that. That's too far. We need our schools open here. They're talking about opening everything but the schools. They're doing ribbon cuttings for everything but these schools, and then they wondering why they're not getting funding. Well, come up with a legitimate plan about what you're going to do for the schools. And we're not talking about the mayors. We're talking about the next governor. Do your job. Whitmer, you didn't do your job. You cared for the rich. You didn't care nothing about the low income, the poverty children. You didn't care nothing about us. And you're talking about you're going to run for president? maybe I'll run for president when that time comes. But for now, I'm so happy that President Trump has stepped in, but I need to talk to him because I want to let him know that the Department of Health and Human Services ain't no good either. No, they're not. They was lying too, making a mass hysteria scare. Oh, the Medicaid people not going to have Medicaid. Oh, they not going to have bridge card. If you've been on a bridge card for 15 years and you got a working body and you know how to work and you know how to smoke a blunt and roll a blunt perfect or go to the liquor store and buy you some drinks, then guess what? Get up off your butt and get a job. Period. That's like Chief Craig would say, period. Because we ain't going to get that to the city girls because we see what they into right now. But I just want to say that when y'all first hear something, let the man do his job. Y'all heard about the tariffs. Look what happened. Last week, I exposed former President Barack Obama saying the same thing. Because he was a black man, y'all took it and y'all accepted it. Well, guess what? We're not going to do that race card no more. Y'all got the right Patriot, and that's why I call it under pressure, because I'm under pressure to say the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And if the truth offends my own people sometimes, then so be it, because sometimes my own people are the very ones that come against me. But we're not going to bash them, because I love being a black woman. I do. I love my 10 black children, and I am happy to live in the city of Detroit, even though it's impoverished in the community, and we got mayors running again after again and again, but nothing's being fixed in the communities. Mayors, I compel you to stop lying in y'all speeches and tell the truth. You don't have nothing to do with the Department of Education. Now, you can make sure that buildings and building codes are up with these schools and make sure that these abandoned buildings can finally be torn down or whatever y'all decide y'all going to do with it, because y'all know y'all poisoned them kids with lead. Let's not play around with our children. I don't like it at all. I understand about the woman's complaints about having a disabled child. Trust me, I feel that. I feel that. I'm for all children, disabled, able-bodied. You know, I don't even call them disabilities anymore. I call them abilities. And we're going to have a show that's all about disabilities, or should I say all about abilities soon. But now I want to go into our next part, because like we said, we gave 15 minutes of my time up for our fallen soldiers. So I want to go into this next part. My mic. You're good. So I don't hear myself. You're good. And okay. Well, anyway, we're going to go into the next part, which is faculty. Ready? Yes.
After she says her son with autism was pepper sprayed in his classroom by a school staff member.
We're told it happened earlier today at Carver STEM Academy. The paraprofessional accused in the incident is now on administrative leave. Fox 2's Tanisha Cordell explains what happened.
Shahira Snadakar was at work when she got the call about her son.
Yeah, see, there we go. Look, this is my baby. Look. I mean, I understand, like, he look intimidated, but he really not. He not finna put his hands on no adult. Like, you know what I'm saying? He not just finna just go out and rage.
Her 13-year-old son, Dakari, who has autism, told us he was in class Thursday at Carver STEM Academy when another student called his body weird. So they started physically fighting. Then he says a paraprofessional who was in the class stepped in.
She sprayed around my face. I was crying because it was so awful. I had to cough.
DPS sent a statement that says in part, the authorities were called immediately and first aid was administered to the student. The district is cooperating fully with their investigation. The paraprofessional has been removed from the school and placed on administrative leave. Still, Shahira demanding answers on protocol regarding the paraprofessional's use of pepper spray.
I'm already scared for him growing up. I shouldn't have to be scared for him to go to class. I just want justice for my son, period.
So
Dakari telling us he's okay.
The nurse, Miss Friday, she checked on me and helped feel better.
I'm sorry.
I love you, Mom.
I love you too. I'm sorry, son.
Shahira says she's considering getting a lawyer and she's still trying to decide whether her son Dakari will stay here at Carver. But she says with DPS in charge of special needs placements, her hands may be tied. For now, reporting in Detroit, I'm Tanisha Cordell, Fox 2 News.
Okay, now I want to let y'all know that this really hit home. I mean, this really hit home. And just thinking about it, hearing about Carver STEM Academy, located on Paul Street in the city of Detroit. Guys, this hit home because I was the president of the PTSA there back in the 2022-23 school year. And both of my daughters were going there at the time. And, you know, when we talk about faculty, we talking about the principal, the teachers, the para-teachers, the deans, you know, even the, you know, the students or people, because, you know, sometimes they're involved in working with the school too. But when you send your child to school, and I sent my child to school, and we're going to tell a story, a real true story about what happened to my daughter at that same school. So when this was on the news about a week or two ago, I had PTSD. I started sweating. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, I'm going to have to reach out to this parent. Found out, yes, you absolutely should sue. Because the principal there, I have protected that principal on many occasions. And I won't say her name. I would not disclose her name. But I'm going to say that parents used to come up to the school while I was the PTA president, and they wanted to fight this principal. And I had to talk to these people calmly, these mothers calmly, like, okay, I understand your frustration. You know, and the PTSA president shouldn't have to be in the middle of that because we don't get paid. We don't get a salary. We don't get a dime. So, you know, and that's all of that's going to change. And that's why I'm glad that we have a new administration in. Some people, hey, y'all want to stick on that same thing, waking up out your bed mad every day about this president. Go ahead, right ahead. I don't care. I see some growth. I see some changes. And we're going to definitely have a lot of it when it comes down to the schools. But being assaulted by a staff member, that's a no-no. That we send our kids to school to learn. You know, my daughter, let me tell you about my daughter, because we already seen that this boy got pepper sprayed. And as you can see, he's a special needs child. And I'm going to try to see what we can do to work to get Washington, D.C. involved in this, because it needs to be, somebody needs to speak up about it. And no more being the elephant in the room. You know, I'm Patriot under pressure, and I'm going to make sure that we talk about these things. But right now, my clock has went off. It's 12:40, guys. Take a second now. Y'all know that I pray. God, I would like to pray for this young man who was pepper sprayed at the school, Lord Father. And I would like to pray for my own daughter, which I'm going to tell the story of what happened to her, Lord Father, and her surgeries, and that her next surgery can go well, Lord Father. And God, I want to pray for all of these children all across the world that are suffering hardships at school. And Lord Father, some of the teachers are going through it too from students. So we're not going to lead them out. But God, let your vengeance come down. Let your blessings and mercies come down. What is due to people for being assaulted, for being a victim of circumstances like this, Lord Father, please bless them, compensate them for their pain and suffering. And bless this world and this nation, Lord Father. In Jesus' holy name, amen. Okay, guys, so I want to still talk about something that happened to my daughter at this same school while I was the president of their PTSA. So my daughters, they caught the yellow bus. It would come pick them up, orange bus, yellow bus, or whatever. It would pick them up right in front of the doorway. Because like I said, I have a IEP student, and then my daughter, who I'm going to discuss today, which is Artesia Bomber Jr. She was 9 years old at the time. She's 11 now. But she was 9 years old, guys, and I remember clear as day, her and my 17-year-old, who was 15 years old at the time. I'm so sorry, guys. Thinking about this is bringing back a painful memory. But I want to bring awareness. So they came, I saw them, they came running in the house. And the first thing I noticed was my 9-year-old Artesia's face. It was red. It was like burgundy. And then in between some lines, it was like pale white. Somebody had slapped my daughter. Not on one cheek, but on two cheeks. So I said, what happened to you? And my oldest daughter said, Miss White put her hands on her. I heard, we call my daughter Yiki. So I heard Yiki screaming all the way down the hall, and some kids ran up to me like, you might want to go on the third or second floor to go find out Miss White's, the lady is, I'm sorry, I don't want to say her name right now, because it's still pending investigation. Y'all see how they do you, pending still after they got proof, after they done reprimanded her, but it's pending for her to get charged, to be locked away for assaulting my daughter. So anyway, my daughter was told that her teacher was putting hands on my daughter. So she ran up there, of course, naturally to go protect her sister and see what's going on. As she came close, she saw the teacher assaulting her sister. But guess what? My daughter, the one I just told you about, she's the special needs person. So she stood back because she know not to fight a teacher. She knows better. She was raised better than that. So she saw this teacher assaulting my daughter, grabbing my daughter's arms, shaking her, pushed her down to the floor. Where, I hope y'all not getting mad out there for me, because trust me, I have forgiven this woman. It just takes a lot to forget it. But I checked my daughter's body. She had fingerprints. And mind you, she wore long sleeve clothing to school. So you got slap marks, you got fingerprints on your arms, you got slammed to the floor. I mean, I checked her bottom. She had a bruise back there. I'm like, At the time, I did not even have a vehicle, guys. I had to catch the city bus. I caught the city bus to the police station in the neighborhood, the one that you're supposed to go to when an assault happens, when a crime happens. And guess what I was told? Or should I say, guess what I was given? A sticky note that said, oh, we no longer see things that happen at the schools. We have a whole DPS police station now. And they gave me the phone number. And I said, oh, you mean tell me, here go my daughter. She's bruised up. I'm showing them everything. We on camera at the police station. And I'm giving a sticky note that says, we can't come there. We have to go to see the DPS because that's who the schools are under. Okay? They gave me the number, but guess what, guys? Lo and behold, they're closed. If you go on the site right now and look it up, DPS Police on Cameron Street, they even give you hours. And some of the time, if you call between 11 and 1, they're closed. Guess what they're closed for? Lunch break. Wow, I thought crime happened all day long. I thought crime happened 24 hours. I thought somebody's supposed to be available for 24 hours. That system failed me. As a result, my daughter had to have a surgery about a month ago on her bottom. Because when that teacher slammed her, she slammed her so hard that a cyst was growing for a whole 2 years, and we didn't realize that that's what that mark still stayed from her abusing my daughter. And the teacher was only reprimanded. No charges or nothing. They say it's pending. So I'm going to keep it like that. And you know, I'm not like the other young lady that's saying she's looking for an attorney, because I must say, when you're a mom of 10, you are your own attorney. Because you have to fight for your own children. You got to look up the law. It's not practice it, because they say you can't say that. But I've had to look up the law so many times to see what can be done about wrong injustice, wrongful mishandlings of people's rights. You know, my daughter, she was diagnosed with PTSD. Since then, she was given medication, but she came a long way. And, back then, she was on the principal's list, the dean's list, honor roll student, all that. And this teacher took her innocence. It hurt me so bad. It hurts so bad. Guys, y'all have to protect y'all children. If you have special needs children, you need to start checking on them. Don't just send them to school on the bus because it's convenient and you don't see them because you got a whole free day to go do what you want to do. And I'm not going to say everybody that sits up and drink and smoke, because that's not true. I know some people that go downtown, some people running campaigns right now, running for office, such as myself. I run for office every chance that I get because I've been cheated in that old no good Department of Elections, which we're going to talk about after next week, because next week I have a special guest coming in. Oh, I have to prepare myself for that one. But yes, guys, you got to start checking on your special need children. Do some pop-ups. And they have a parent room that's supposed to be in all the schools that are not being utilized by the parents. And this is a place where you can go on a computer. If you're homeless, you can look for housing. Anything that you can do to help the students get better. Have a workshop. And get in touch with your presidents or the PTA presidents and have a workshop, because that's what's needed right now. We need parents to be more involved in their child's education. You don't want to be one of those mothers that see your kid run through the house with 2 smack marks on their face and bruised up, and then a boil that you didn't know was just, that you thought was a mark and it was going to go away, to find out that your daughter has to have surgery. We can't have that going on. So now, and we didn't have any commercials today because I gave y'all, we wanted to do 15 minutes of silence and moments of silence for our soldiers. So I'm just going to go right on into the food service. I want to read something to you guys about the Detroit Public Schools food quality concerns. It says, some sources suggest that food quality in Detroit Public Schools has been a concern for students and parents. A Chalkbeat article from 2022 quotes a Detroit school nutrition leader stating that during the pandemic, students' taste buds changed due to eating less healthy food at home, and now they need to readjust to the healthier school meals. Stop the games. Quit playing. Michelle Obama is not in office anymore with her healthy food service. We have new people in office that really actually care about our children and what they eat. Now, at that same school, because that school needs to go down in a hall of shame. Yes, it does. And it also needs to get donkey of the day. I'm not going to make the donkey sounds, but let's just say hee-haw for you, Carver STEM Academy. There was a young lady there, and I don't have to say a name because there's few ladies, so you won't know who, but they bragged. They bragged when we used to have those Title I meetings, those presidential meetings. They bragged about having been there for 25 years. But you got the kids complaining that the food sucks. The food tastes nasty. I had children come in there and say, they made the rice, it looked like they just threw it in some water, they ain't put no seasoning or nothing. Guys, I know for a fact that food is coming there and it's real food, and or should I say it's healthy food, fruits, vegetables. I've seen it. I've seen it because I'm telling you, I spend more time at the schools than I spend at home. Okay, and I'm up there, and I see the fruits and vegetables come in, but guess what? They get old because they don't give them to the kids on time. They put things like they say it's Taco Tuesday, but the meat look nasty. They make macaroni and cheese like, it come frozen, and then they put it inside of a bowl, and it's watery because they didn't heat it to the right temperature. If I was governor, I'd make sure that from here on out, we hire chefs. That's right, chefs. Straight out of school. They can be right out of college, 19 years old, 18-year-old, it don't matter. Chefs to work in the food service. That's going to get there on time. That's going to make sure that they take that food out, prep it, and make sure that it goes into the oven and at the right temperature. And that they have thermometers to check those meats and check the macaroni and cheese and every single thing. And make sure that those refrigerators are checked out. Because at minimum, you're supposed to have a safe serve certificate. Let's see about those safe serve certificates and those food handler cards. Let's make sure that they're up to date. Let's go into these schools and make sure that they're up to date. And I'm just saying, if I was the governor, I'd make sure I'd be checking on that. But Whitmer's all around, flying off into Dubai, all overseas, trying to get her a presidential in. Honey, you didn't even do good as the governor. And President Trump, please, if you got me supporting you, please don't do the alley-oop on us again. Hugging that woman. That woman don't need no hug. She don't need a handshake or nothing. Let her keep the same energy that she had about you. She had a whole thing that said 86-45 back then. And now you had another man put it up 86-47, and he getting all type of slack for it and all type of scrutiny. Well, what happened to her scrutiny? What happened to her jail time? That sounds like treason to me, threatening the whole president. But that just goes to show the people that always talking about the president saying he mean and evil, you're lying. He's real friendly, by the way. He's real personable, real approachable. And when y'all see him on the news, they love to get those parts. He's just a man that speak up for his rights like I do. And people take it wrong way. They something's wrong. No, ain't nothing wrong. No delusion here. Dyslexia, but not delusion. And when y'all go to tell that y'all going to elect another governor, make sure that the governor's focus is education. Y'all listening? Doing the right thing when people cheating in our elections, such as Jocelyn Benson and Janice Winfrey. And you know what? I'm going to give a pass, and not a pass, but I'm going to give a pass for Kathy Garrett because, number one, Kathy Garrett, somebody else is running her office. It's not even her. We're going to give a pass for her. One thing about her, she's going to get in. She done been in office for 20 whole years. Guess who's getting her in there? Janice Winfrey, allegedly. She making sure that she win, so she going to make sure that whoever want to run for something in the county, whoever want to run for something in the state, in the city, hey, Kathy Garrett, I got you covered. That's what Miss Winfrey's doing. She's cheating by fire. And let me tell you something. She is the chair of the election commission. But we're not going to talk about elections today. I just want to say that this governor better be on her job, thinking about these children, thinking about all these schools closed down in Detroit, finding out that it was lead in them, because somebody kids need some money. Somebody parent needs some money for all that lead that went in their system. That was wrong. And I just want to let y'all know that when y'all go discussing Department of Elections with the mayoral candidates, don't do that. Just simply ask them, what do you plan to do along with the governor to make sure that the schools are being ran properly? What do you plan to do to make sure that there's no shootings on the school property? Because that what you can control that, because you can control your police department. One thing about the DPD police, they are the ones that answer the phone. It's about those DPS police that we got to think about. But I do want to give a special thank you and shout out to Chief LeBritt Jackson, who happens to be a professor in college for juvenile delinquency. And when I tell you about his syllabus, it is impeccable. This man cares about the children. And you remember, he's only one man. So let's stand behind people who care about the children. Let's stand behind officers who care, and then maybe they can put some fire under their feet to start doing the right thing for these children who have been assaulted, and for these parents too. Because I was assaulted at a school, and I won't say the name of the school, but I was assaulted by a security guard who put hands on me, who was wrestling me, up in me in the chest, threw the security badge on my mouth, made it bleed, all that. We can't keep having these things happen and nobody is holding these people accountable. We cannot have the school DPS police taking up for the faculty. We got to do what's right for the teachers, the students, and the parents. We got to start doing what's right, guys. I just want to take us out with a prayer right quick. Dear God, as you know, we are in troubled times. We are in the tribulation times, Lord Father, and I believe in you. And I want everybody else to believe in you too, God, but that's going to be kind of hard. Because you can only please some of the people some of the time. You can't please all of them all of the time. But God, you are a pleasing and amazing God. And I ask that you bless Cave Radio Broadcasting. Bless both Erics with a K, the engineers. Bless all of the shows that come on here today. Bless this city that I'm in right now, the city of Livonia. God bless Detroit. Bless Michigan. Bless America and everywhere else. In Jesus' holy precious name. Amen. Guys, I will see you back next Sunday. Like I said, we got a special guest. It's Republican versus Democrat. Our points of views are going to be debating. See you soon. And by the way, if you want to get sponsorship, commercials going on, you want to join me in the studio, reach out to me at patriotunderpressure@gmail.com. That's patriotunderpressure@gmail.com. And since our phone number is new, I'm going to always have to come back and edit and post it. Guys, enjoy your holiday weekend. God bless.
Patriot under pressure. She lived out her whole life suffering depression. She thought that she'd never make it out of the ghetto. But look at her now. Look at her now.